It's Theory of Anything time, everybody. I hope you theorists are ready to theorize. Welcome. I am your host for this episode, and we have our usuals in Paps
Hello and hello.
and Devon.
Hello.
I never know quite what to say when my opening words. Anyway, yeah.
Hello. Hello's pretty good. And today we have a special guest, the ultimate fanboy, the authority in super people, and an expert in all things geeky. We have Sam.
Sam.
Hey
welcome.
Guys.
Hello.
How we doing?
Sam, your first time with us. You join us on a very, very important episode number 50, half a century.
Oh yeah, I should have said that, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
The Big 5-0.
The Big 5-0, and they said it wouldn't last. Yeah. Well,
And it
I
should.
feel very honoured.
yeah. Sam is actually my nephew, and your cousins, so that's good, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the connection, and we've always at family gatherings ended up talking about superheroes. So that's why you're here.
Yeah.
To join in our conversation a bit later
Brilliant.
on. Yeah, a bit later on we'll be coming to that. But please, Sam, we have a little bit of chit chat before we get to your main segment. Please feel free to intervene and join in with the next few minutes of conversation that Ford's going to lead us into. Is that okay?
Yeah. I'll definitely intervene when my knowledge approves it.
We're welcome to. Yeah.
Well, I hope your knowledge improves in this one, because I wanted to ask Sam, what can you tell us an interesting fact about yourself?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I didn't prep you on this one, so it feels a bit better.
That's out of the blue.
An interesting fact. Wow.
Oh
you
yeah,
really
there is one. I'm
got it.
sure. I know the one you should tell us, everybody and the listeners.
Only one.
Only
Your
one.
main claim to fame, of course.
Oh, okay. I see where this is going.
yeah.
Okay.
You know where we're going, don't you?
Yeah, I'm a gold medalist who's represented Great Britain.
Yes.
Wow. Brilliant.
Yeah. And
In what did you represent?
In the Special Olympics when I played basketball, and we won the competition.
very good.
That's cool.
Gold
Olympic
medal.
gold medalist in our midst.
Yeah. Wow. He must be the most important person we've ever had on the podcast.
Whoa! What about you know, I'm here, right?
Oh, you're going to make me go pink.
Can any of us rival that achievement? I don't think so. Yeah.
No, not really. That's brilliant.
We were very proud of you, Sam. As a family, you did a marvellous job of. I know you weren't representing our family, but you were representing our country. Yeah, not just our family. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
So,
cool.
yeah, it was great experience, and I don't plan to stop, really. I'm planning for Germany in about 2 years.
Wow. Brilliant.
Very cool.
You're a wonderful, avid basketball player. Yeah.
I don't know much about the Olympics, but I was surprised to know that basketball was an Olympic game. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. I've got another important question. What are you guys drinking right now?
Do you know, I came to the microphone without a drink,
Oh, no.
No drink. Oh.
but I have just had a hobgoblin with my dinner. So,
course.
yeah.
Oh, hobgoblin.
Which is a ruby ale. Yeah. Yeah, but that went down rather well when I got back from work. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I've just finished my drink, so I need to probably get another one.
Oh, maybe we'll have to have an intermission at some point.
Yeah.
We can edit that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Devon.
I'm the same as Sam as well. I just finished my Pepsi. Maybe I need to get some more Pepsi. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see how it goes, shall we?
Cool. All right, so it's time for the pickups, and I've got down here something that I added. Because of the last episode we talked about Battlestar Galactica. The episode that we were talking about was called 6 Degrees of Separation.
Yes.
And we said at the time, oh, is that a reference to something? We don't really get it, apart from that 6 is one of the characters.
Yes.
But
you found out some more information, have you?
I have indeed. It's a common theory that you are 6 people away from knowing another person, a random person.
Anybody else in the world? Yeah.
Anyone in the world, just 6 people away.
That's correct.
Mm.
But how does that relate to the subject of the episode, which was all about Boltar being kind of brought to justice by this strange woman?
I think it's because of the coincidence in which like the whole episode is based upon her working with him. Is that right?
Right.
Because it's like she came out of nowhere and she was apparently working at the place in which it all went down on Caprica. So I guess it's like they have that connection. So that's 6 degrees of separation type thing. I don't know.
Okay.
Potentially.
And
Fair
she's
enough.
6.
And she's a number 6, yeah. Good. Yeah, that would help to explain it, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I think if any of our viewers knew that, they'll probably scream at their microphone. Well,
Yeah.
screaming at their screen.
Fair enough. All their headphones.
Yeah.
Is that
Cool.
everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Pickups from the last episode. I did
Yeah,
re-listen
cleared
to
that up.
Re-listen to that conversation. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was a good conversation about Battlestar Galactica. Have you watched any Battlestar Galactica, Sam?
I never got into it really.
Oh wow! Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we strongly recommend. It's probably our favourite. I think, on whole, one of our favourite sci-fis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Unanimous.
need to give that a go.
Yeah.
All right, let's move this on to the news feed.
And now it's time for Anything Newsfeed.
News for the poor. Anyone got any news?
News for the poor.
Yep. That's the new jingle.
Is it?
Yep.
Bring out your news.
Bring out your news. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I wanted to talk briefly about Foundation. Now,
Yeah.
Paps, you have Apple TV Plus, do you not?
I do. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
seen Foundation?
No, I haven't. And you mentioned that on a previous episode. To remind us and the listeners, myself included, what universe is Foundation from?
It's an Isaac Asimov book.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if it's a short novel or whether it's a full novel, but yeah, it's one I listened to and wasn't very impressed with.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what I talked about on the episode. But I'm very interested to see what they're doing with the episode, and I haven't got Apple's. It's a TV series that's just released on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah. Okay.
And-
Is it out now already? Then has it began?
I know the first 2 episodes have dropped, so
Okay, I'll need to catch that then, don't I? And I can report back. I'll
yes.
try and report back next time.
because I don't have
With my
anything.
view.
I don't have anything Apple, so I don't know if I can get Apple TV Plus. I don't know if that's the
I
thing.
think you can subscribe to it at a cost. I think it's £5 or £6 a month. Anybody, you don't have to have an Apple account. Well, you create an Apple account just for the TV. You don't have to have an Apple phone or anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They're not going to turn you down just because you use an Android.
I'll take your money
Yeah.
for
Oh,
sure.
sorry, you don't qualify. Yeah. Sorry, if you haven't got an Apple phone, you're not here. Yeah, you're not welcome here. Okay, so that's a bit of a challenge, is it, for me to catch up on some Foundation before the next episode?
If you could, I'd like to know whether it's worth the subscription fee. Yeah.
£4 or $5.99 a month. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. Yeah.
Cool.
If I'm
Now-
honest, I do subscribe to Apple TV, but I don't very often use it. Maybe I should reconsider my membership to that. But it is good. What I've seen on there is good. They do some quality TV. Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about Star Wars Visions. Now, I know that Sam has seen these, so that's pretty cool.
Oh, come on, Sam.
Oh yeah. Oh, here we go.
So
Yeah. So
this is
they're
something that
very interesting. They are. It's a different take from what Disney have done. It's anime, but in Star Wars, obviously. And I've seen about half of them so far.
Okay.
And so far, I would say The Jewel, which is the first one, is my favourite so far.
Right.
So they're very short, aren't they? Like 15 minutes long or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, about that.
So what are they based on? Like what kind of storyline or which characters or?
It is honestly like random moments, like throughout Star Wars,
Oh.
and they're not really based on any. They don't like link to each other. They're just based on Star Wars and just random moments. It's just like a vision of something that's happened.
Okay.
Yeah,
Could be anywhere and anything. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a minor spoiler-free kind of rundown of the first episode is there's this village, and then some bad guys show up, and you see what happens, and then that's it. That's your
That's
so
it.
lots of little stories like that.
And are we left to kind of fathom out when and where each episode occurs? Is there clues within it
you
to
can
work
kind of
out?
figure out.
Yeah.
Because one of them you see like the Empire stormtroopers in them, so I guess you can kind of figure out when some of them are set. But then others, I think some of them are like set during the Old Republic. I think so.
Okay.
So
Fair
would you
enough.
say it's well worth a watch?
So far, I would say if you just want to watch, if you're a big Star Wars fan, then I'd say it's definitely worth the watch. There's 9 episodes. Each are about a quarter of an hour.
So the other question is, of course, is this on Disney Plus TV available? Is it on that channel?
Yes, it is.
I
I'm
imagine
guessing
so.
that's where.
It's Disney now, isn't it? Star Wars.
Everything Star Wars is on Disney.
There's a lot of this kind of format coming along. These were like one-shot episodes in the series with different stories, like Black Mirror and Love, Death, Robots, and this and What If as well. It's kind of like it's a new format. It kind of looks quite popular. It's quite interesting.
Okay. Now, but you mentioned it being animated, but anime, is that quite different style to the other animated Star Wars, which is we did an episode on it, didn't we? Clone Wars.
Oh
Yeah?
yes,
That was
much
animated.
different.
Is it?
It's much different. This is done by 7 different Japanese animation companies, and they've animated these episodes. So each episode is like a different style of anime.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Although anime does refer to animation, when you say it in popular culture, anime more refers to the Japanese style.
It does have a distinguishable style, doesn't it? With the big eyes and the doe-eyed, glamorous kind of portrayals of faces and things. That's how I perceived anime, anyway. Yeah. So it got bigger than normal eyes, and it's anime.
It's also like the how the modelling works and the frame rate and things like that.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's normally quite 2D, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool.
So something else for us to look into. Yeah.
Sounds good, actually. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You haven't seen any yet, Ford? No?
I've watched the first episode, which I agree was pretty good. So I haven't seen the rest. I'm assuming Sam knows what he's talking about when he says the rest are just below that, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest of them are pretty good. Some of them are pretty good. The twins I really liked, but I would say my favourite is the Jewel.
Right.
Because it's all black and white, 3D. It was really good.
Cool.
Wow.
Interesting.
Check it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Shall we move this on?
Yeah, we could do. There was a couple of things I could have said to some of the latest tech releases. Obviously, Apple's had a recent push on the new iPhone, new Apple Watch, blah blah blah. But I think as we've got a special guest, we'll probably leave that for another episode to discuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the subjects, Sam, that we like to look into is technology. You see, so
one thing you might want to know is Apple are changing their cables.
Oh, from the Lightning connectors.
Yeah, to the ones that all the others use.
No.
USB-C. Yeah, well, it's laws from the EU. They're forcing them to do it.
No.
So they're having to go to USB-C, which is great news.
Wow.
Oh.
So you could actually just get a £5 USB-C cable from Curry's, and
it'll charge your iPhone.
Yeah.
After the iPhone 13, all of them will be, the usual type.
Oh.
I'm amazed.
Competition laws, eh? Yeah.
Oh,
really?
It's just great news. Like,
Is it?
Lightning cable sucks, and it just forces you to buy from Apple. Like, what's the point?
Well, you can get cheap versions of Lightning cables.
Yeah.
They don't tend to work as well or for as long.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that is interesting. I suppose when I went, oh no, I suppose it's good news, but because it won't change the phone I've got now. It'll only impact me when I get a new one.
Yeah.
So
exactly. And you'll get a new cable potentially with that.
I think it's anything that's higher than an iPhone 13, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is, you would charge your MacBook Pro with a USB-C cable, but you have to charge your iPhone with a Lightning cable. So it just doesn't make any sense. You've got to buy 2 different types of cables for the same branded product. Like it didn't make any sense at all.
What's also interesting, I think the latest MacBooks don't have the magnetic connectors.
No, they don't.
I go back a few years, and their charging connectors were really great. You just waved it anywhere near it, and it would suck it towards it. Connect.
Yeah. Rebecca's got that still on her
wonderful
MacBook,
magnetic way, but they got rid of that, so that was interesting. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, that is a little bit of tech news, and I wasn't expecting us to talk tech.
Just to slide it in there quick.
I just thought you might like to know.
That is good. Thank you.
Added.
There is more we can add to tech news. Maybe we'll focus on that in episode 51. When we don't have special guests with us, so we want to commit as much time as we can to hearing what Sam's got to share with us. Shall we?
Cool. Shall we move this on? Shall we?
Welcome, special guest.
So, in preparation for this segment, we have all rewatched all of the Marvel films.
Oh,
right,
have
guys?
we?
Yep.
Is that what I was meant to have done?
Yes, I watched them all today.
Oh dear.
I watched every single one at least 3 times, I think. So I think I'm well prepared.
Well, okay.
Very good.
Great. That's probably more than anyone else. So we've decided to do a tier list where we rank all of the films. Now you should, if you're watching this on the old YouTubes, you'll be able to see a visual, and you'll be able. So we're just going to rank them.
So this phrase tier list, I'm coming at this completely novice. It will become self-explanatory in both audio and visual, because not everybody will be watching this conversation. They will be just listening. So hopefully, as you go through this process, I suppose you could call it, it will work in audio only, will it? For us to understand.
we'll be describing which film it is, talking about the film, and where to place it anyway. So
very good.
If you want to watch it on video, then you can see everything and
go to YouTube.
Go on YouTube on our account.
Okay.
It would still work on podcast anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever talked Marvel films before, have we?
Have we not?
Not properly. So this will be squeezing it all into one episode. So that's great.
Wow. Are these in order on this display of when they were released? Or
So
just
no,
random?
they're not at all. So
They're
these
just
are
random.
as random as I can make them.
Would it be more helpful for us to talk about each one in terms of when they were released? Or
No.
No, I think it just makes sense. I can tell you roughly when it came out, and then
Okay.
that helps.
That would help, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So first off, we've got Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man.
Oh,
Right.
Okay.
Ant-Man. So this was the first film to come out after the second Avengers film, and it's quite a good and interesting film. I think there's some good action in there. You've got Paul Rudd playing the main character.
Yeah.
He does a lot of good stuff as his role. I think he's perfectly casted for that role.
I agree with that. Yeah.
So it's not amazing, the best Marvel ever. But if I had to put it somewhere, but in case you don't know what Ant-Man is, he's he can turn to the size of an ant, and he can command ants as well.
Oh, right. I didn't know that about him, but I had an idea he was a small character. Yeah.
Yeah.
His name kind of
He
gives
can
it
also
away.
go really big as well, can't he? Though?
Oh.
Before he turned into the character, he was originally a burglar,
Yeah.
Okay.
and he would just burgle into people's houses, and then he would turn into Ant-Man.
All right.
I would say. Sorry, go on.
My only problem with Ant-Man was that the bad guy turned from just a normal guy to a evil guy real quickly. Like, as soon as he got into the bad guy's suit, he got the yellow jacket armor, he turned into a crazy man, and that was kind of jarring for me. But yeah, apart from that, I quite enjoyed this film.
I was feeling from the villain like Lex Luthor ripoff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
So if I had to put it anywhere, I'd put it in B tier.
Yeah.
So just to explain to myself and to listener viewers, is you've got F working from the bottom up, D. Hang on. What are these letters standing for? That's the best way of approaching.
Well,
it.
it's
So
basically
F is like your worst, like the worst of the worst. D is
F.
Oh, F. Okay.
D is.
I wonder why there wasn't an E. So it's just
This is basically how you would use grading system in the UK schools, basically before they went 1 to 9, and then you got S as
D
well.
is
Just to
like
make super...
D is like, yeah, I'll watch it like once, and then I'll forget about it.
Okay.
C is decent, and then B is okay. This is actually a pretty good film. A is like, wow, I actually really enjoyed that. And then S, you don't get any better than this in Marvel films.
Supreme. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't answer why there isn't an E though. Don't understand why there's no E.
Well, too bad. Too many
Carry
slots.
on then.
You
Carry
need
on
an F,
without
and there's
me.
too many slots.
Okay.
But yeah, I would, if I had to pick, I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but I would put Ant-Man in B tier.
Okay.
Yep. I'm okay with that.
It's not one I've seen, so I can't comment. But
I would
carry
have
on.
said C, but I'm willing to be overruled for sure. I think maybe I'm a bit prejudiced against it.
Why? What were your feelings?
A lot of the physics just didn't make any sense. Not in terms of like, you can't go small, but he's just like 1 second he's really light with no mass, and then next second he's still really small, but he's got a huge amount of mass, can throw people around, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. But we can put it on B.
Okay, cool.
It's probably just pet peeves I've got with the film.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair criticism, but yeah, still fun.
Yeah.
A fun movie, and a lot of people can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up,
The first
Guardians
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, I do have something to say about this.
You've seen this one, have you?
I have seen this one, and
Great.
I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was a fabulous film. That was my opening comment on it. Particularly liked some of the soundtrack. There was some good audio music in it. So
Yeah, this one's known for having a good score.
the score.
I
That's the
would-
right word for it. Score. Yeah.
I would personally say this is probably one of my favourite Marvel films.
Oh, wow.
This is looking good for this one then. Yeah.
This, alongside, this is James Gunn's most highest rated film.
Really. Who's
like
James
just-
Gunn?
The director of the film.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So, in case any of you out there haven't seen Guardians, it's a group of different kind of people from space, and they're known for different things. You got the main character Peter Quill. He's like some space adventurer. You got Gamora, who's an assassin, who's an alien assassin. You've got Drax the Destroyer, who's just this big buff alien who who really doesn't like anyone really. You've got Rocket, who's a talking raccoon.
Yeah.
Who
Very funny,
loves his guns and explosions, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you've got Groot, who's a giant talking tree.
Yeah.
And all he says is I and am and Groot.
Yeah.
And specifically in that order.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's two things
Yeah.
that probably I want to say about that. Is there a sequel to this? There is, isn't there?
Yeah.
There is,
Yeah.
Volume
Is that
2.
on our list of
Yeah.
talk about today? Okay, won't go to it
Yeah.
yet then. But the scene in this original one that I like the most, there was a fabulous battle scene, and they're all in this fight together. And there's something about he's listening to music through his headphones on his Walkman. The way that if I'm remembering this correctly, the way that was portrayed was really a pleasure to watch. Do you remember the scene I'm talking about?
Oh, it depends. Are we on about when he's walking into the tomb?
No, I think it was on some kind of a platform of some sort.
So I think you're talking about the beginning of the second one.
Oh,
you
am
are.
I? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's
oh,
the
well,
beginning of the second one.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah. Oh, well. Forget what I said then.
Yeah, bring that up later.
So
Yeah.
does that mean that I have a fonder memory of the second one than I do the first one? I don't know.
Yes, I would probably say you're
Oh,
that's the second one you're thinking of.
okay.
Yeah.
One thing I
for-
would- oh, sorry.
Sorry, go on.
One thing I will say about this one is when it was coming out, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, why would I go and see that? It doesn't. These aren't characters I know," and stuff like that. And it's Marvel's first foray into space adventures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't expected to do very well, but everyone loved it. So I remember it's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
A surprise classic.
if
Yeah.
I had to put this anywhere, I would honestly say S tier.
Yeah.
Every time I watch it, I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree with that. Yeah.
Any disagreement anywhere?
I mean-
I don't disagree.
I would put it on A, but that's just because of the ending when Groot turns into a baby and starts dancing for about 5 minutes. But that's just another pet peeve.
But
That's just a little bit
if
you
you
don't
do,
like.
if you graded this an A, what are you going to put above it?
Oh,
I mean, I
Anyway,
know what
well-
I put above it.
Okay,
Well,
we'll get to that.
Well, let's talk about the
right
next
now.
one because
We can have more than one S, can't we?
yeah, you
Yes, you
can. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Right.
now I've got another banger here.
Thor
Okay.
Ragnarok. This is the
Yes.
second Thor film.
Really?
The
Third one.
I thought the Dark World was third one. Okay.
Yeah, the third Thor
Oh
film.
yeah.
So this film came out, I believe. So it was slightly just. I think it was almost a year before Infinity War came out, which was actually set just before Infinity War. So that works quite well.
yes.
But Thor Ragnarok, oh my goodness! So the previous 4 films, they were pretty decent, but they lacked in a few things. Thor Ragnarok literally is like one of the funniest superhero films I have
Okay.
ever seen, alongside Guardian films.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Thor in his standalone film, well, in all of his films, he was always a bit sort of the straight. What do you call it? The straight character. The
Yeah.
Jacket. Yeah.
He's not making jokes anyway.
Cumulus. Yeah.
Yeah, but when this film came out, it completely reinvented the character, and a lot of people would say, yeah, there was a progression to that, but I think it was a big jump for the better. So that was pretty good.
I think this is the best Marvel film.
Wow.
This is.
I
This is.
would say this is in my top 5. This is definitely.
It takes it. It's got everything. You know. It actually made me laugh multiple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like a lot throughout the entire film, and it's just
You have so many great characters in there, and so a good cast, and the humor is on top, and the action is actually really good as well.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a very rare occasion where we'll ever see a movie that will ever come close to this film in the future. So,
Goodness.
if I had to put it anywhere, I would also put this film in S tier.
So would I.
Okay. Well, I've not seen it, so I can't comment.
you
but
need to see it. I think you'll like
it
this
sounds
one.
like it's one I need to prioritize a watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's like the back and forth that he has with the Hulk as well.
Okay.
It's just
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really funny. It's really good.
So
That's
off
amazing
it goes
as
to
well.
the top
Yeah,
of the tree. Then. Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is going well so far. Is it going to go downhill sometime soon?
That some will, yeah. I have a few in the back of my head that I think that will be near the bottom or at the bottom.
Yeah, me too.
one more thing I wanted to say about Thor Ragnarok is Jeff Goldblum in this film. He's just
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh right, I like Jeff.
Did you
Goldblum.
know? I don't. This is something I need to comment on. There's a guy in Guardians called the Collector,
Yes.
and then Jeff Goldblum's character is the Grandmaster.
Yeah.
They are meant to be brothers,
Oh.
and they were born shortly after the Big Bang.
Oh. What the heck?
Yeah.
so
So,
they're very old. Them 2 characters are.
Just a little bit.
Wow, from the
Yeah.
beginning of time. Okay,
Yeah. So
almost as old as the universe itself. Yeah.
there you go.
Interesting fact, fans. Yeah, well done.
Okay. And
Right.
The next one,
The next one.
Black
Yeah.
Panther.
Oh, Black Panther. Right. So I
Obvious-
think we can all agree on
Mm,
Chadwick Boseman.
yeah,
He did an amazing performance as Black Panther,
yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree with that.
and it's going to be very hard to. Well, they're not. I don't think they're even going to replace him. Obviously,
No.
unfortunately, he passed away last year,
Yeah.
but they're going to try and continue and honor his legacy. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, for this film, I didn't really care for it. I mean, it's hard for me to say. I don't know. It's just it felt very preachy.
Yeah.
The villain in this, he's all about how would you say it?
Quality, isn't it, or something like that?
Yeah, his whole shtick was that he was going to get weapons and give them to his black brothers, and they would rise up and beat the white man down, or something like that.
Yeah.
And I know, yeah, it just felt very weird and very unnatural for a Marvel film.
Yeah. So what I heard was they were going to try and do this storyline similar to The Lion King,
Interesting.
which it kind of did. Like if you put Lion King in like its most basic form, then you can see like bits of it there. But there were some things that there were a few comedy bits. Some of the action was really good.
Yeah.
There was, the final fight scene. The CGI, I think, was a bit off, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
It didn't look quite good. So for me, I'm either C or D for me.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well.
I've only ever seen
a low C or a high D, I would say.
I've only seen it once, and that's very on purpose. I didn't very much enjoy it. Yeah.
Should we say D then?
Well, I have a confession to make, and yet again another one I haven't seen, but which is a bit embarrassing because Devon bought me it for Christmas a few years ago. Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah.
It was nominated for Best Picture in 2018.
Exactly.
So you would think it's not very often that Marvel films do get Oscar nominated for Best Picture. Anyway, they get not Oscar nominated for other categories, but this unusually was. I wonder how much, but they didn't know Chadwick Boseman was going to die, so it wasn't posthumous.
But it was very politicized, I think, and that's why.
Yeah,
I think that's why it may have been Oscar nom.
Well,
not because it was actually good storytelling.
An interesting fact about Chadwick: he was battling cancer while
filming it. Yeah,
while filming Black Panther and the two Avengers films.
Oh, really?
Wow.
So,
but that wasn't publicly known at the time, was it?
That wasn't publicly known. No.
Wow.
Yeah. In retrospect, people have been amazed about how well he coped with that filming schedule and did so well to hide the fact that he was seriously ill.
Yeah.
So, but sorry, it doesn't make the grade in terms of being a good film, though.
Well, I think also about the film, the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, starts as king and warrior and pretty confident or whatever, and then he ends the film in the same place. In the middle, he loses his kingship and then he gets it back. And it's like, surely a story should have progression. It makes the character better somehow.
Yeah, nothing
changes. I just didn't feel like that film moved his character along at all.
It was like a Star Trek episode.
Yeah. Although I like Star Trek, but go on.
Okay, well, I think that probably warrants the category T that you put it in then, yeah.
Interestingly, this movie made more money in America than Infinity War did.
Wow.
Just in America alone.
Really?
So I think if we were talking to an American, they'd probably have a slightly different opinion about Black Panther, probably.
Yeah, fair enough.
I know I'm probably dwelling a long time on one film that probably we don't rate very highly, but do you think some of its popularity then might have something to do with the racial... it was the first time probably we've seen a superhero who was of ethnic persuasion, maybe?
Yes, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Last time we saw a main character who was a superhero of this ethnic background, I would say is Blade.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, Blade. I was thinking Steel. You got Shaquille O'Neal playing as Steel, but that was a bad film as well. So.
Yeah.
But they probably didn't get the same kind of... recognition as this
exposure
film.
as this film.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
fair enough.
I remember when this came out, Twitter is just a horrible place to be, but I remember seeing lots of Twitter posts about how you're not allowed to go and watch it in the cinema if you're white, basically.
What?
People
saying that
you're not allowed to go. So this is a black person's film. You can't do it. It definitely was a lot of...
That's crazy.
A lot of controversy surrounding this entire film, and a lot of politicized.
They'd almost say, like, if you didn't enjoy the film, then they would
you're being
Twitter,
racist.
they would say, you're being racist, which I don't really agree with that.
No.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Okay, we've probably talked enough about that, but
yeah. Let's go on to the next one.
Interesting facts. Okay.
So the next one, Age of Ultron.
Okay. Oh, right. So this isn't a bad comment, but this is probably my least favourite out of all the Avengers films.
Okay. So the Avengers being the grouped people films, where all the heroes come together.
Yeah.
Right.
And the villain is Ultron, which is this big robot guy who has an army of robots. And It does move the story quite well. Like, it leads to things like Civil War. You see hints of that. You see hints of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like, it just hints things, and it hints a bit of Endgame as well with the whole invasion.
Yeah.
I think at the time a lot of people hated this film because it was setting up so much. A lot of people didn't like that.
Okay.
I never noticed it, to be honest. I kind of accepted that as something that happens in these films anyway. I really quite enjoyed it. I mean,
I did as well. I really enjoyed it.
There's that bit where they're all just hanging out at a party together.
Yeah.
It's just fun to see them sort of interact.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I have seen this then. I didn't think I'd seen it, but that scene rings a bell. Yeah.
Yeah, they were all trying to lift up Thor's hammer.
Yeah. I just ring a bell.
I think that has a lot of really good scenes like that, and the Iron Man versus the Hulk as well. Scene.
Like, the Hulk versus armor. Oh, that was
Hulk
I loved that bit when it came. Like, I could not believe it. I remember when I was in the cinema. I think I must have been. Thinking about it now, I must have been 13 when this film came out, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So
I really enjoyed it as well. But I
don't know. Oh, sorry, go on.
It got a lot of bad press though. This film, I think. I don't know why.
Yeah, and I don't get that. Why it got that? Because I really enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
But if I had to rate it, I don't know if you guys agree, but I put an A.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
But does that contradict what you said? Did you say this is your least favourite Avenger film?
Yeah, but Avengers films are very highly. Well, for me, I really love the Avengers films.
Right. Okay. But
just wait till we go to the others. Wait till we go to the others.
At risk of over-swamping the S category, maybe we should go a bit lower than A if others aren't so sure.
I might call it a B.
Yeah, I'd call it a B.
I really enjoy it, but there are others that are better, I think.
Okay. Do you mind, Sam, if we overrule and put it in a B? Just so that you allow a bit of room in the A category for some of the others. Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing in it yet.
What's next?
Yeah, okay.
So we've got Captain America, the First Avenger.
Ooh.
Is this the first Captain America film?
Yeah.
Yes, set in World War II.
Yeah. Can I make... Oh, no, you do your intro, Sam. Go on. Yeah, I'll let you speak first.
This film, well, when I first watched it in cinema, I remember leaving it. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that was an alright film. I think the villain, Red Skull, he was an interesting villain, but I'm trying to think, like, they were just... I think what happened, like, there was that part, when he first gets the serum.
Yeah.
They really rushed some bits, I think they did.
Well, I was thinking about he learns how to become Captain America in a montage,
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of him sort of learning to be as powerful as he is and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this film is a World War II film, isn't it? It's set in 1942, I think it is. Yeah, it's about a guy who just gets jacked up on steroids and fights Nazis.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's literally it in a nutshell. A guy on drugs beats up Nazis.
I have I can make a comment on this one. I haven't been able to on somebody others.
Great.
I disliked this film. Pure and simply because of this way the CGI skinny version of him looked absolutely awful. Some of the creepiest computer-generated images that I think I've ever seen in a movie. Yeah, when he goes to the recruitment centre to join the army, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am remembering it correctly, aren't I?
Yeah.
It almost made me want to switch it off right at the very beginning. I think I enjoyed the rest of the film better than that, but because of that, I can't think beyond it. I don't know why.
That's because you know that he's not actually like that.
Yeah.
And his face doesn't match because you know that he's, is it Chris Evans?
I would rate this similar to Black Panther.
Okay. Yeah.
I'd be willing for that.
If nobody thinks it's an F, then
I think
to put it there.
I think there are worse films than the Captain America one.
I would put it in C, but D sounds okay.
All right. Fair enough. Oh, look, we're nicely 2 in each of those 3 categories. Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a flop, but I wouldn't go back to it either. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Does F stand for flop? Does it?
Yeah. It does in my head. It does.
D stands for don't bother. Oh, that's what C stands
Yeah.
for. Anyway, okay.
Okay, so the next one is obviously a very big one. It's the
Yeah.
first Iron Man.
Okay.
Oh, the movie that started it all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think that legendary like post-credit scene when he's there and Nick Fury's there and he's like, my name's Nick Fury and I'm here to tell you about the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah.
That one scene, I think that's what kick-started everything that we're experiencing now in Marvel.
Yeah.
Really?
The fact that they decided to put that scene in there, I think if they didn't, I don't think we would have what we have now.
Mm.
But also, it was a real gamble for Marvel to do this. I don't know how it works, but I heard that if this film didn't pan out, they would have lost their rights to all their film rights or something like that.
Yeah.
Marvel was already in a really bad place anyway, so yeah, it did really well for them.
Yeah, fantastic movie. I think a really good movie, and
Good.
that
I enjoyed it.
classic scene where he's getting that armor on the Mark III.
Mhm.
That whenever I think of the first Iron Man film, I think of that scene. And remember, this film came out in 2008, and the CGI for that film, I thought it was incredible.
The only problem I have with this film is that the bad guy, Obadiah Stane, has a scene where he rides a Segway, and that really undercuts the ominous nature of a bad guy, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bad guys shouldn't ride Segways.
Yeah. You can't look villainous on a Segway.
Yeah.
You know?
I think if I had to put it anyway, I'd put an A.
I would as well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good film.
I've enjoyed it a few times. I've watched it more than once, actually. One of the few films I've watched more than once on this list. And I enjoyed it both times. So go for it.
The whole cave scene when he's just built his first rendition of the Iron Man suit.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like busting out and he's getting shot. And I don't know, it's all clunky and messy, but it's actually really, really cool. And he's, I don't know.
Apparently that was all practical. Well, obviously it's not like it doesn't fly or whatever, but you know, it was no CGI in that, you know.
Oh yeah,
But-
that was all real.
Do you think the CGI stands up even today? You can't fault the CGI for modern day.
Obviously, we have better CGI now, of course, and you'll be able to tell, but it was still very, very good for its time, I think.
I mean, this came out before Avatar came out, and if you think about that, that's fantastic.
But also,
Yeah.
I think this film has better CGI than a lot of other Marvel films somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Ones, yeah.
If you compare this CGI to the third act of Black Panther, I think it's better.
Which is weird. It's crazy, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, as you say, like a lot of this is practical effects, so they rely on CGI a lot less in this film than they do in the later films.
Yeah.
But they bite off too much. They're more than they can chew in the later films with CGI, I think. Whereas in this, obviously, they rely on a lot of practical effects instead.
Interesting, yeah. Better
Yeah.
for it, yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Good. Okay, cool.
bro. So then we've got Captain America 2. 3? 2.
Oh, is
Winter
that the Winter Soldier?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, two.
Right. This is a very good and action-packed film. This is.
Yeah,
I-
this is the first kind of spy drama one they did, didn't it?
Yeah, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Like when I was watching it in cinema, my heart was always racing, and it was non-stop action, and it was a really fun film, and I really enjoyed it. I did.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people really enjoyed it. I found it rather jarring. You know, Marvel films, you expect superheroes and stuff, and this was rather rather grounded and until the
like
end,
car
maybe. But
chases and things like that.
yeah, you got car chase. I mean, you know, he's strong and stuff like that, but everything else is rather realistic. I don't know if that's a fair comment, but yeah. So it's kind of weird for me, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it's only 'cause I wasn't expecting it, you know.
Yeah, well, it's the first time we see the Winter Soldier, of course, and I think they really do build on the Winter Soldier a lot on this movie, because at first he's just some heartless killer who he has no emotion, and then by the end he's actually showing some emotion, isn't he? And he actually feels for Captain America as a friend, and that actually has some really good character development.
Yeah.
Yeah, Devon, any thoughts?
I'm trying to remember this one, and obviously,
Yeah, I can't remember.
as Ford said, it is very grounded for a Marvel film. Obviously, that's because of the nature of Captain America. He's not like Iron Man, where he can fly, or Spider-Man, where he can, I don't know, slingshot around buildings like crazy and things like that. The strength of Captain America is his leadership qualities. Like, he's the captain of the Avengers, not because he's like the most powerful, but because he's a proper leader.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't got a team, then what is there for him to do, basically? And that's what this film is. It just doesn't really have.
I wonder
too much
if
of a team.
that's it. Yeah.
Maybe that's
Yeah.
a good point. Yeah.
So in my mind, I was going to put this in A or B tier, but if you guys are thinking different, then do let me know.
I'd be happy for B.
Yeah, I'll go B.
Not being able to recall it, I may have seen it, but it isn't sticking with me. So I'm just go with whatever you say. So that's 2v1 there, isn't it?
I mean, there's
right.
a lot of fun action, and there's a scene where Winter Soldier comes against Captain America. And there's no music. I think there's a sort of a rising sort of, and it's an amazing fight scene because it's so tense.
Oh,
So-
yeah.
So it's a great film, but yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I can't really explain my feelings.
Yeah,
B
that's
is still
all
a good category. It's still a quality
It
film.
is.
Still
isn't
good.
It,
It is a decent film, and in my mind, it's a decent film, and I'd happily watch it again.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Cool.
Excellent. So next one, Iron Man 2.
Ooh, okay. Right, so I don't think this is as good as the first one. Can we agree on that?
Yes,
Yeah.
at least I would anyway.
Action scenes, I think in total we had not many.
There's
Like,
the
across
first
the
one is
film.
the Formula One, isn't there?
Yeah, Formula One,
this is the
right.
slashing the Formula One cars in half.
Yeah.
So I have seen
Whiplash,
it,
who's the villain.
Okay. Yeah. What's
Um,
his name? The villain?
Whiplash.
Whiplash. Yeah.
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 Okay, so this film mostly rotates around the idea that Iron Man can't really. He's getting poisoned by his armor, and he's dying essentially. And
Yeah.
there's this guy coming in who's trying to ruin his reputation. And the government's trying to take away his Iron Man armor and stuff like that.
For me, for this, like, I never really get to see. Obviously, you see like the veins like going on, but obviously we know he's dying. But you never see like any like thing happen. Like, you know how when you're dying, like a character will like show like, you know, coughing up blood or something. we never see anything like that.
Evidence of him dying. Yeah.
Yeah, except for that the black veins.
Yeah.
So I don't think anything comes of it, does it? I mean, what's the point story wise?
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, when there are action scenes, they're pretty decent.
Is there a battle between him and another guy in another Iron Man suit?
Yes.
Yeah. A black guy.
This is where
Yeah.
we introduce War Machine.
Oh right. Yeah.
Iron Man's best friend gets an Iron Man suit. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
did we see Iron Man drunk in this at a party?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same
It's
scene.
in that exact fight scene.
That's it.
that
I'm
he's
getting
drunk.
there.
Yeah.
I remember bits of films, but I can't always fit
Yeah.
them together.
And this is also the first movie we see Black Widow.
Oh
Oh, yeah,
really?
of course,
Is
yeah.
it? Oh, I like Black Widow.
Oh yeah.
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 And it was a good introduction to her character. I just think there was some parts where it was a bit slow. And it was
Okay.
also Elon Musk's first appearance in a Marvel
yeah.
film.
Really?
It was, yeah.
Wow.
Makes a cameo in
okay.
this, doesn't
Interesting.
he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this.
So
I mean, you've got a lot of Robert Downey Jr. just Robert Downey Jr. around, so that's a lot of fun. It's fun to see him work,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but
I'm
I think that's
thinking
what it's got going for it. Yeah.
for this film, I'm thinking a strong C.
Okay.
If you guys agree.
Yeah, I think Whiplash kind of let me down because it was just very confusing. His backstory, who he is, like what does he want? I don't know. They
Yeah.
tried to explain it, but I don't think they did it really well, and it's made it a bit confusing. I think I don't know
Okay.
about anyone else, but
Yeah.
it's like, oh yeah, well I was here when you did this to me or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
I did like the scene at the Formula One Monaco track, though. That was quite fun.
yeah,
Yeah.
Ford, do you
Right.
agree with C?
Happy to go with C. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy as well.
Cool.
Also, so the bad guy's not wearing any armor. I mean, he's got his bare chest out.
Yeah.
Someone,
Yeah.
Someone just needs to shoot him. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's struggling to fight against him. I'm like, you have a repulsor, just shoot at him, and then that's it. The movie's over.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Dear.
So next one, Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Oh, right.
Not seen it.
So this is the second Spider-Man film. This was the first film to come out after Endgame. So spoilers if you haven't seen Endgame, because
We probably should have called spoilers at the top of this.
yeah.
It's spoiling everything.
So spoilers for Endgame, because it's a very important part of Spider-Man: Far From Home. So it's all about, everyone's come back, and a lot of people are very confused and things like that. And Spider-Man's trying to deal with also another spoiler on Endgame. Spoilers ahead, major ones. After Iron Man dies.
What? I haven't seen that one.
Oh, man.
Oh no!
But I had heard that's what happens. Yeah.
Should have stopped listening.
So he really doesn't take it well, and he's trying to move on, and he's almost trying to be the next Iron Man, if you know what I mean. He's trying to see if he can be as good as him.
I thought we'd just agreed that Iron Man's illness was a false alarm.
That was a different thing.
Oh no, different thing.
Yeah.
Completely different thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless you call being zapped the life out of you by Infinity Gauntlet. The same thing.
That's not what he was poorly with before, then. No.
No.
Okay.
Although that kind of helped.
Rumours of his death have been greatly exaggerated.
But the characters were very good. The villain, Mysterio, what did we think to him?
I really enjoyed Mysterio, yeah.
Yeah, I liked his costume as well. You know, how he's in like a CGI costume.
Yeah,
Like,
in the film, it's CGI. It's interesting.
it was good, like, action as well. You even had, like, a few, like, throwbacks to some of the old films. Like, when he was on the London Bridge, he had that shield and that weapon. Like, it was almost like, Captain America from Endgame. And I thought that was quite a cool moment. So I actually really enjoyed this film. I actually thought it was really good.
Can I ask a dumb question to continue with the theme for the whole of this podcast? The Spider-Man universe is a confusing one to me.
Right.
Didn't they relaunch? Did it start, then get restarted
Twice.
with a different actor?
So you've had 3 Spider-Man actors.
Yeah.
Do you want to give it a breakdown?
Please do. Try and help me understand.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So way back in the early 2000s, so slightly after I was born, there was the Tobey Maguire films.
Yes, yeah.
Best
There were
Which is
3
my
of them.
wife's favourite Spider-Man
Yeah.
film. Yeah. There was
And then-
3 of them, were there, with Tobey Maguire?
Yep.
Are
And then
they on
after
this
that-
list today? Are we
No.
looking
No.
at...
They're not.
No,
They're
okay.
not part of the MCU.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And then then back, I think it was 2011, I think they did the first Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
And-
then they rebooted it with a new actor, didn't they?
Yeah, with Andrew Garfield.
So it's as if the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's never existed.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like a different universe, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, for a different universe. And then they did 2 Amazing Spider-Mans, and then they stopped there.
Okay.
And then, when Captain America Civil War was happening, they did a deal with Sony, like, where they would have Spider-Man, and then they would make Spider-Man films, but in the MCU universe.
Right.
So, and that is played by Tom Holland.
Yeah, this
So-
this is all because during the comic book crisis, Marvel. It's before any of these films. Marvel were really suffering. They were going bankrupt essentially. So they sold the movie rights to a lot of their characters. So Sony owns Spider-Man essentially.
Everything to do with Spider-Man, like in
Right.
Spider-Verse, basically, they own.
Yeah. So Marvel's been trying to get him back ever since, kind of. But yeah. So they've got a deal where they get to put him in the MCU, but it's not really an MCU character.
So-
Blah blah blah.
That's what I was just going to ask. I think you've answered the question I was about to ask. So, Spider-Man originally in comic book land was never in a Marvel comic.
No, he was.
He was.
Marvel doesn't mean MCU though.
Right.
MCU is Marvel's Cinematic Universe, which is like the Avengers and things like that. All that ties in together in the same universe.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just because they sold the movie rights to some of their characters, and now that they can afford to get them back, a lot of people don't want to sell them back because they know how popular these superhero films are.
Same thing they did with Fantastic Four to Fox, right? They sold Fantastic Four to Fox.
And X-Men. Well, Fox. Yeah. Well, they've actually got Fantastic Four back, and Deadpool and X-Men.
Yeah.
They got back.
A Fantastic Four on this list?
No, it's not.
No.
MCU.
Oh, gosh.
And apparently, the price of Spider-Man, if Marvel wanted to buy Spider-Man, might actually cost the amount they've earned through all the MCU films.
What? Oh, my word.
That's how much Sony are willing to sell Spider-Man for.
Would only be willing to, yeah.
We're talking like 10 billion.
Yeah, I mean that's just they've jacked the prices up because they know they can, because it's Disney.
Yeah. Because here's the thing, because Sony owns Spider-Man, I'm guessing you've heard of the Spider-Man games.
Yeah.
They are a Sony exclusive.
Yeah.
Right.
PlayStation, yeah.
Okay.
So there you go. Right, so back to the movie.
Where are you going to put it? Yeah.
I would happily put this in A, because I really enjoyed this.
Okay.
I don't know about you guys.
I really enjoyed it as well, but Devon hasn't said anything about it yet, so I'm feeling
I haven't watched
like...
it.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, wow.
No, I haven't watched this one. I knew Mysterio was in one of them. I didn't know which, and I haven't seen that one. So that's this one.
So it's this one.
Yeah.
So I'm probably thinking that the Spider-Man universe that I am best familiar with is the original Tobey Maguire ones, then, aren't
Yes.
I? Can I just ask this quick question away from what we're doing now? Is which is the one with this great big robotic armed spider?
Tobey Maguire.
Kind of...
Spider-Man 2. Tobey Maguire.
Spider-Man 2. That was probably one of the scariest scenes in any of this type of film I've ever seen. One's the scene where we see that mechanical spider robot creature.
Octopus.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah,
Doc.
Well, when he first awakens out of that
I think so. Yes,
seat.
that was very, very scary sequence.
Yeah, he was a very good villain. Very good.
But that's nothing to do with what we're talking about now. I know, but anyway.
Yeah.
If I can't add a comment about anything, if I can't make any other valid comment, then that's the best I've got.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Start talking about a different film.
Yeah. Okay. Oh,
So
Wonder Woman next.
Cool.
Yeah. Wonder Woman next.
Wonder Woman. So, in case you haven't heard, Andy here, he thought that was Wonder Woman, which we said, hang on, that's DC, that's not Marvel.
These icons are very small, and my eyesight's not what it was. Apparently, Wonder Woman isn't part of the MCU. No, okay.
No, this is Captain Marvel.
See, we're learning things here tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, Captain Marvel.
He just put it straight into F.
I could not agree more.
That's a shame.
Wow, that's strong.
I've never seen it. Never seen it. Don't know.
There's just no character building at all.
Really?
So
she's such a Mary
here's
Sue.
one thing I have to comment on. Captain Marvel is meant to be a character who's struggling on her emotions. Like, she's meant to be showing a lot of emotion, but she's struggling to control them.
A lot of characters keep saying, control yourself. Yeah.
But Brie Larson does not look like a person who has troubles controlling her emotion.
Not at all.
In fact, she doesn't show much.
Yeah. She's very wooden in this.
The most you get is sort of a wry grin, maybe, every now and again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people have a problem with Brie Larson, and I fully understand that because I feel like she's rather horrible. But I don't know if that should reflect on the film itself. I don't know if the film should get heat for that.
Yeah, but she's like that in the film as well.
Yeah, she's a bit like that in the film as well.
I personally don't have anything against Brie Larson. I just think it was poor casting.
Okay. I mean, it's interesting because a lot of people also came against this film because it was a feminine piece, essentially. Yeah. It's like very female power.
The first Marvel female lead, this was.
And That's not just conjecture. I mean, the director said this is a female empowerment piece, sort of thing. Yeah, which again sounds a bit preachy. It's a bit like Black Panther in that regard. I didn't much like that, but it was.
Yeah.
I thought the film was okay. I mean, she's overpowered as well. There's no.
Yeah, flipping heck. She's on league with when Thor was in Infinity War.
Mm.
Yeah.
The thing is, when we were talking about the whole feminist thing, I don't mind diversity or whatever that in films,
but do it well.
I don't like forced diversity.
No.
Okay.
Like when they force the person to understand diversity, that is when it makes the movie bad, because you're forcing the person to understand. Oh yeah, this is all about diversity. I have no problem with women
strong
in
women
films,
characters,
or like I don't like when I'm watching a movie. It said, I don't hate you because you're a woman. I don't like it when you keep mentioning that you're a woman.
Right.
Like that they mention it way too often for you, and they try to make you understand that this is a woman empowerment film, which I think that kind of ruins the film, if you know what I mean.
I don't get to say this very often, but I think DC did it better.
What, with Wonder Woman?
Oh,
yeah.
Honestly,
very empowering.
I'm a big
female
fan.
Figure. Yeah.
I know we're going off Marvel here, but in DC, I'm a big fan of the big trio. So that's Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite female superhero.
Yeah.
And the director of that film, she did her justice in that first film.
Yeah.
Also, if I remember correctly, in this film, the score was terrible as well. Like the songs didn't really match what was going on in the scene.
No,
that's a bit vague.
It was
I'm sorry about that.
90s, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they were just throwing in 90s songs just because it was set in the 90s, not because it made sense in that scene,
Yeah.
It just kind of threw me off.
Really?
If you watch it and think about it, you'll see what I mean.
Yeah. It's like basically you're watching it and you're hearing the tune, but it almost if the tune doesn't really relate well to what's happening.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's a little niggle of mine, but yeah.
Am I really going to want to watch an F-rated film if I choose some of these that I haven't seen before? This isn't going to be high on my watch list, is it?
No. If you've only got time to watch some of these, then don't watch that.
Honestly,
start further up.
Yeah.
I would say if you literally have nothing to do the entire day, put it on in the background. I don't want
while you do nothing else.
Don't even watch it.
Yeah. Put it on in the background. That is literally the best thing you can do.
Okay, good. Well, I think you've chosen the right tier then for that. Yeah, by the sounds.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
Very good. Moving right along.
Excellent. So the next one. This is Thor 1.
Oh,
the first Thor film.
Yes.
I did see this. Yeah.
I actually enjoyed this film.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the deterioration in the relationship between him and his brother. Yeah. Who's now got his own TV series, I hear.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, but let Sam do the main intro. Yeah.
This was at the time, this was probably the funniest film for me. Like in phase 1, I would say the first Thor film was the funniest out of all of them.
Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I remember some funny
alongside the first Avengers, I would say.
Okay.
I found this quite funny because, when he was banished, he thought he was still a god and he's having to deal with all these, being mortal again.
Yeah.
And one of my favourite scenes is when he goes into that pet shop and he goes, I need a horse!
Yeah.
Like, horses. We just sell cats and dogs and birds, say. And he says, well, give me one of those large enough to ride.
Well remembered, yeah. That just
that is I actually really enjoyed this film. I think I enjoyed this a lot more than other people did, if I'm being honest.
I don't think it was very well liked, but yeah, I think I agree. I call it a middling film because it's quite enjoyable. It's quite early on in the Marvel foray into these sorts of things. I mean, it was the first one where they did magic.
Yeah.
So that's it was quite pioneering in that respect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Idris Elba's in it, isn't he? Idris Elba. The black
Yes,
guy.
he is.
Yes.
What's his role? He
Hemdial.
controls the gate.
He's the
whatever it's-
gatekeeper.
Yeah. That's it. Oh yeah, I can see you pointing at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is he in later films as well? Idris Elba?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd call this. Yeah, someone else say.
I would say B.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can
If
agree
you
with
guys
that.
are happy with that.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think
a
it's
really good
definitely
setting up
better
the world.
Better than the second Iron Man film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Cool.
Yeah, I definitely would say better than Superman. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's good.
Fair
place.
enough. Good job.
Also, just a little note on that film. A lot of the films was filmed. Well, I don't know. It was filmed on Dutch angles. Like one of the tripods was broken or something like that.
Oh,
Oh, really?
A lot of wonky cam. I don't know what they were thinking, but yeah.
really?
Yeah, if you
I
keep an eye
didn't
out.
know that.
Well,
Brilliant.
yeah, it's just weird. I don't know.
Not deliberate. They didn't do that.
I imagine it was deliberate, but yeah, it just feels like one of their cameras wasn't working because a lot of the scenes. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but no, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go.
Excellent.
Right.
Next one.
Next one.
Captain America: Civil War.
Right. So the guys who directed The Winter Soldier also directed this film. Now,
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So this film, this came out at the same time, slightly after Batman vs Superman came out.
Okay.
Of
So-
course. So good guys for you, good guys. Yeah.
Yeah, so that trend was really going on, and I think this like tripled the amount of money Batman vs Superman made.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
fact.
And
I think-
at this time, I believe this was the longest Marvel film that came out. But like before the other films, obviously, this was the longest film out of all the Marvel films.
I think it also came out at the time when Transformers was doing Bumblebee versus Optimus Prime as well.
Oh, the fourth, not the
Yeah.
fourth one, the fifth film.
Yeah, so good guys versus good guys
Wow.
again.
Yeah, that was a really big trend. Interestingly,
Yeah, wow.
I feel like this should have
So-
been an Avengers film.
Yeah, I don't know why they called it a Captain America film. It was clearly Avengers, but
this was Avengers 2.5.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's basically it.
I mean, we
But,
do follow Captain America a lot, but I don't know if I'd call it his film.
Yeah.
per
No,
se.
because Iron Man gets some decent screen time as well, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I did like this film actually. I enjoyed it. When there was fight scenes, well, obviously the big one, the actual Civil War when it happened
At the airport.
at the airport. That
Yeah.
wow, there were so many characters fighting. There were so many things involved,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that was really a good way to show off. Before the other Avengers movies, of course, that was a really good way to show off like how many characters they really have and how many they can have in one movie.
Yeah. In one scene at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I quite enjoyed this film. What about you guys?
I really like this film. Yeah. I like the the relationship. It kind of delves deeper into the complicated relationship that Captain America has with Tony Stark.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously that runs through the rest of the films, doesn't it? It's like it was.
One interesting fact about that, the characters. You know, when they're talking about the collateral damage with all the things they've done.
Yeah.
On one side of the table, spoilers for Infinity War, by the way, guys. So click off now. But you've probably already heard the spoilers for Endgame, so I don't know why I'm saying this. But on the table, everyone on one side, they are ones who actually disappear. On the other side, they are alive
Wow.
after Infinity War.
Interesting.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
And this really does deal with the political side as well. Like, there are consequences every time the Avengers take part in something. Because, New York, that was pretty much destroyed.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C., and Sokovia with Age of Ultron. So
yeah,
it really does show, like, the repercussions of their actions,
Okay.
which is really interesting to see.
Yeah.
Although I do think it's a bit of an exaggeration to call it a civil war, but I mean, I know
It's a civil war within the Avengers, isn't it? That's what.
I know it's infighting, but I mean, you could just as easily call it infighting.
Well, the Avengers break up, don't they, after it? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
For me, because I actually really enjoyed this, I'm thinking an A or B.
Yeah,
I'd give it an A.
I'd give it an A.
Should they have called it Family Spat, do you think? Was that-
Avengers Family Spat.
Maybe, yeah.
The,
Then
the
let's
only,
put it A.
the only weird thing I got with this film, I mean, they make it work, but I would have thought if you get Captain America and Iron Man, I would have thought Captain America would be on the side of the law, and Iron Man would be the rebel. You know?
Yeah, because it's basically because the government wants to control the Avengers, but Captain America's like, what if we need to go out there and we can't because we are under their control?
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, this and us agreeing to do this, we lose our right to choose.
Yeah, but
Maybe
Iron Man's
Iron
all
Man-
about. Yeah, go on.
Maybe Iron Man realizes that he's beat and that he can't be like he used to be. And
Yeah.
Captain America just doesn't realize that and he'd prefer to go underground. Didn't give up those freedoms.
Yeah, it just seemed weird to me. If I thought about those characters, I wouldn't have put them on those sides. But that's just a personal thing.
Yeah. Right, so I think we're happy with A.
Yeah.
I am.
Cool.
Brilliant. Right,
Not
next
seen
one.
it. Can't comment. Okay.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, okay. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Right.
Not seen it. Can't comment.
So this was the first film to come out after Infinity War. This was.
Yeah, it's
So
kind of
this,
a
like-
weird one because Infinity War, as some people may not know, half the population of the universe gets wiped out.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of a prequel, although it doesn't match with
Yeah.
Infinity War at all. Yeah, so it starts before that one.
Yeah, it's weird. It came out after Infinity War, but it's set before. It was kind of weird. But
Yeah.
There was some good comedy in there, like those three criminals, whatever. I forgot their names.
Mm.
They're really funny together. That's one of the reasons why I really liked Ant-Man because that big trio, they're really funny.
Yeah, the humor in Ant-Man films are pretty good.
Yeah, I would say the villain wasn't very good in this film.
Ghost, was it?
Ghost, yeah.
It's a woman who can sort of phase.
Oh, yeah.
She phases between things and stuff.
Yeah, I feel like her aim, it was a bit weird. Like she was willing to kill so many people just to save herself, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she wasn't depicted as a bad guy in the end. It's like,
No.
really? Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to put this anywhere, I'd put in C personally.
So worse than the first one.
Yeah. I
I'd
think
be
the
willing-
first one was better.
I'd be willing to call it a D. I've only ever seen it once in the cinema, and I've never wanted to go back. I didn't much like it at all.
For Devon, comment.
I wouldn't feel good about putting it so far away from the first one because I
Okay.
think they're equally as bad.
So should we
Ultimately,
say
I'm
like
both
low
down, but-
C? A low C, should we say?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Brilliant. Right.
I
Doctor
can't
Strange.
I couldn't work out what that one was. Yeah, don't recognise it.
It's a guy in a cape, can't you tell?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Actually-
Batman.
I should clear it up.
Looks like Batman. Yeah.
Right, so we've got Doctor Strange, right. This is a pretty interesting one because this deals with the sorcerers and magic again. I don't know. Well, I watched this like a few years ago. We had me, Ian, Kevin, and the rest of my family, and halfway through, everyone was asleep apart from me and Kevin.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think that
Okay.
really showed how much they were interested in the film, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
To be fair, Kevin, this is his favourite film. This is his favourite character.
Really.
He absolutely loves Doctor Strange.
Mm.
So if he was here, he would say S tier.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, Benedict Cumberbatch, who plays Doctor Strange,
Mhm.
he is great. I mean, I love his
Oh, yeah.
performance. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did it brilliantly.
Mm.
But
the love interest, the bad guy, the
everything
set.
else.
There's a lot of setup.
Yeah.
It's all a bit kind of poor, a bit
Yeah.
half-hearted, maybe I'd say.
Yeah,
Mm.
I thought
I would.
the first half of the film is quite good, I think, in terms of his going through that struggle, being humbled and having to rely on something other than what he knows.
But it's very
Yeah.
slow.
It is
that
quite
takes
slow,
that takes a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say they're doing a second Doctor Strange. It's called Multiverse of Madness, and I think it is a very wise decision to have a lot of characters in that film because Scarlet Witch is going to be in it, Loki, and Spider-Man, as well as obviously Doctor Strange. I think that was a very wise choice by Marvel because it'll make the movie more interesting with them in it. Which, with this one, it wasn't that interesting, but I stayed awake because it was Marvel, of course, and I wanted to see all of it. So
I should probably say that the visuals are really good as well. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah,
it does
CGI
look
was the
great.
best part about it. The CG, like where all the the shape shifting stuff, that was all really good.
Yeah, the bending cities and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So can we say that the quote for the poster would be, "I managed not to fall asleep"?
Yeah, because it's Marvel.
Yeah. I would say, I'm thinking D or no, I think C would be too high. I'm thinking maybe D.
Oh wow,
brutal.
I think this is probably the first one that I would rate higher than either of you two.
Oh really?
I think maybe apart from Thor Ragnarok, I'd probably put this B personally.
Wow.
Oh wow!
But I'm not a Marvel connoisseur.
That's high up. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think the ending was quite satisfying as well.
So should we split the difference and put it in C then?
That's a good point. The ending, it doesn't end like a classic punch-up, does it?
No.
Yeah, it's quite interesting the way they resolve the conflict.
If I'm being honest, all those movies in B I enjoyed more than Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say, thinking about it now, C, I'm looking at those C movies, I would actually think, looking back at now, I would actually say, yeah, I almost think it's on the same level as those, as Iron Man 2 and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
What do you think, Ford?
I'm torn because the more I think about it, the more I'm remembering things I actually quite like about it. But I don't know.
C's good. C's good category.
C's good. Yeah.
It's decent. Like, you'd happily watch it again.
Okay. Yeah, I'll call it that.
From listening to your conversation, because obviously I don't know anything about it, it sounds like it's quite a different type of film to anything else on this list.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is probably why you're struggling to place it.
They really lean into the mystical stuff, and they don't try and explain too much. And even though it takes a long time to set up, which is quite strange.
Would you call it spiritually dodgy then? I know we're not commenting much on the spiritual level today, but would you say that it's a bit dubious from a spiritual perspective?
I'd say if you were religious, maybe you'd want to steer clear, but...
Okay.
But it depends how much you care about that.
It's also very lighthearted, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, what's this spell from the spell book or whatever. Like it doesn't really doesn't take itself that seriously, I don't think.
Fair enough.
But
that's just a secondary thought.
Yeah.
Okay, you're happy with it in C then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Right.
Fair enough.
Oh, it's a big one.
Moving right on.
Endgame.
Oh my goodness! Right, I don't know if you can tell, but I am smiling so much right now thinking about this movie. This movie, oh my goodness, this is probably one of the best conclusions you can ever do to a cinematic trilogy. Like of the three phases, this movie, I remember watching this in the director's lounge in Showcase Leicester.
Oh my days!
And
wow.
It was worth every penny I think me and like 9 of us went to go and watch it.
Wow.
And we honestly enjoyed it so much, and I honestly it is one of my favorite superhero films of all time. I think you could probably tell I would put an S, but I want to hear from you guys.
The first time I watched this, it confused me because it felt like it jumped around a lot. Without much guidance. But then I watched some of the other films again prior to this, and then watched the Endgame again, and it made a lot more sense.
It doesn't work as a standalone film at all.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it second time round a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's probably why I enjoyed it so much, is because I know all the movies before off by heart, and I know this is what happened, and this is happening because of this.
Yes, you need to know all the lead-ups to what's happening in Endgame. None of it's very self-explanatory in Endgame. You've got to know what happened prior. So I hadn't watched Ragnarok or anything like that, so I didn't know what was going on. Basically, people just disappeared, and I was like, okay, what's going on now? I don't understand. But
So
I did.
it's going to be a long while before I get to see it.
You definitely need to see Infinity War before this. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like I need to look at a lot of films before I get to watch Endgame then.
But what would you guys place this as? Personally, I do S, because I absolutely love this film.
I'm happy to give it an S as well. It was one of the best. If you get it.
Yeah. I'm down for that. Personally, I'd probably put it A, but I'm happy for it to go to S. I think. Considering Guardians of the Galaxy is also an S, then I'd probably put it on the same-ish level.
It's a pain that we can't. We have to be quick, don't we? It's a shame. I'd love to talk about it more, but yeah.
Oh.
Maybe one day we'll do it for a Wii review.
Yeah.
It's good.
Okay.
Excellent.
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy
next
Volume
one.
2.
Oh.
Now this is the one you know.
This is one I've spoke about already. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers. So I like the scene where they're fighting and listening to the music on his Walkman.
Yeah. It's Mr. Blue Sky, isn't it?
Mr. Blue Sky. That's right. The ELO. Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't remember what it was, but you're right. Yeah. ELO track. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliantly done. Made me smile from ear to ear.
This is a very comedic film. This is.
Yeah.
And it is very well. It uses a lot more of the score, a lot more effectively.
Okay.
I feel like it doubled downs on what made Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, successful.
Yeah, exactly.
It doubles down on it for sure.
Right.
I really enjoyed this film. The Pell family, which I know, which you guys have met as well, they honestly. Guardians of the Galaxies are their favourite superheroes of all time now after these movies. And they religiously watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 like once a month or something like that. They love it so much.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can see why.
Yeah. I really enjoy it. I've got a couple of drawbacks, though. They do get bashed around a lot and nothing really hurts them.
Yeah, that was weird. Like when they crash the ship.
Yeah.
Like Drax is as they're crash landing, Drax is repeatedly getting hit into trees.
He's being dragged along behind,
and nothing really bad happens to him.
He gets eaten earlier on.
And he comes out all right.
Yeah.
There's a few scenes like that, and maybe the end scene as well. But I mean, Peter Quill's like Superman by then, so it's a bit different. But yeah, it is all very weird because they're not supposed to be like super hardcore, are they? That's
No, they're just meant to be normal aliens who have special abilities. They're not like Superman level, are they?
Yeah.
Normal aliens. Yes.
Yeah. Well, normal aliens. I'll take that back. I won't normal aliens, but aliens with special abilities. They're not like Superman level of powerful, are they?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Got you.
So I agree with that drawback. So I'm saying I'd say a strong A. I'd say for this one.
Okay, we don't rate it as high as the original.
Well, I'd be happy to put an S, but it depends what you guys think.
Does anybody oppose an S?
I'd say it's not as good as the first one, but I would be happy to put it on the same tier.
I'm struggling, to be honest. Obviously, some scenes I think it works really well that they doubled down on it being very funny and obviously relying on the music quite a lot. But then other scenes, I don't know.
Oh, you think it's too much? It's too silly.
Maybe, yeah.
Too musical.
Well, if you feel A is more, if we're going 2 for an A and 2 for an S, I don't know.
Depends what you think.
Well, I think S, but you know.
Yeah. Oh, it's 3 people say S, so we can put it on S. Yeah.
Do we? I thought that Ford said A.
I said A as well, but I'm happy for it to be on S if you want.
Oh, right.
Okay, let's A it.
So was I the only S then?
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, okay, go for A. Go for A, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Excellent. So, Iron Man 3.
Oh, Iron Man 3, right.
Remind me what happens in this, because I may have seen it. I can't remember.
Basically, Iron Man, by now he's created many suits. The one he uses the most is the Mark 43 in this film, so you can tell he's made a lot by now.
Wow, yeah.
And
so the story is there's a terrorist in the Middle East or something. It goes by the name Mandarin. And there's lots of terrorist attacks and how do you break this one down?
So Iron Man, so he's like they're exploding a lot of places, and eventually his friend Happy is involved in one of those explosions. So at that point he's like, right, I'm ready to fight you, and
he's not happy anymore.
He's not happy anymore, and that's kind of like how he's kind of involved. But also one of his exes back in 1999 works for them as well.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't like this film.
What's his girlfriend called in
Pepper Potts?
Yeah, does she fall out with him, or did that happen in 2?
Doesn't she turn evil? Like she gets red or something?
In this one.
I don't think I've seen this. I don't recall any of what you've been saying.
I think the Mandarin. Well, when you find out who he really is, like when he's in the mansion, and I found him quite funny. Ben Kingsley, he played him very well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you would have seen him in Shang-Chi. You said you've seen that.
Yes, he was. Oh, that's a character, is it? Yeah, he's the only non-Asian character in that film. Yeah, Ben Kingsley.
Yeah, he plays that same character in Iron Man 3.
Ah, he's a good guy in Shang-Chi, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, I enjoyed this more than Iron Man 2.
Oh, hot take.
So
where did we put Iron Man 2? Where was
we
that?
put Iron Man 2 in C.
C, and we put Iron Man 1 in A.
Yep.
If I had to be honest, I put it in B.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it more than Doctor Strange, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and Iron Man 2. But what do you guys think?
I'd agree with that.
I mean, a lot of people again didn't like it. But I just love Robert Downey Jr. just doing his thing. So
being him, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good story. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't see a lot of him in his armor though, which is quite fun. But yeah.
Isn't that the point of it though? He doesn't want to be in his armor anymore or something like that.
That's right. Yeah.
He's getting tired of it or something.
Yeah, so he destroys it.
Yeah.
It's quite a funny thing with Iron Man, isn't it? In this film, he gives up being Iron Man. In Age of Ultron, he gives up being Iron Man, and in Endgame, he gives up being Iron Man, and he always comes back. So
doesn't he end up? Doesn't he give up being him as well?
He gives up being alive. Yeah.
yeah.
But
and he's not happy either. Then
no one's happy. No one happy, Hogan.
Yeah. Very good.
Cool.
Right, next one.
Spider-Man's Homecoming, is that right?
Ooh, yes, Homecoming. So this was the first Spider-Man film in the MCU.
Right.
So I enjoyed this more than Far From Home myself. And the reason why is because it actually had some good casting, like obviously same Spider-Man. The villain was very good. We had Michael Keaton play Vulture. And I thought he was a very good villain.
Yeah, very sympathetic. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You can kind of get on board with him. Yeah.
Because Michael Keaton also played Batman, didn't he, once?
Yes, he did.
Different universe.
And, I know that. I did realise that when I said it. Yeah, I'm learning.
Good.
It was just an point about the actor, not about the character.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
And I'll tell you what, this film doesn't fail to help you understand the villain as well, like its backstory.
Okay.
Because outside of animated Spider-Man, this is the first time we've actually seen Vulture on the big screen.
Yeah, and if you see if you Google the Vulture or something like that, you'll see he looks very silly. He's just like in a green spandex uniform or something like that. With feathers and stuff. But this made it cool, I guess.
Was the Vulture the one in the PSP game for it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And the PS2 Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and it's all about and while this is all happening, Peter Parker, he's at school at the moment. They're doing And the reason why it's called Homecoming, because homecoming's happening at school, and that's all happening. And there's a girl he really likes. It's almost like a teenage high school movie, but also outside of high school, he's having to deal with the Vulture, which I really enjoyed. I actually really, really enjoyed this film, actually, more than I realised.
Also, the dynamic between him and Iron Man.
Yeah, I forgot. Iron Man's in this film as well.
They have a great dynamic, yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. Great characters in here, and they have it. Yeah, all around, I think this is a fantastic movie. Really good.
Yeah, you sound enthusiastic about it.
So, in terms of timeline, is this before or after Civil War?
After Civil War.
After, so he's already been recruited, basically.
Because in the intro, he does like a little video recording of his time in Berlin of the whole thing, and it's really funny, and I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man, he's very likable. I mean,
he actually looks like a kid.
Yeah, unlike the other guys who are quite old.
Yeah.
Probably a bit too old to play the character.
Yeah.
Well, Tobey Maguire's 46 now, isn't he?
Oh, dear. That's practically a granddad.
Oops.
But if I had to put this anywhere, from the way I've been speaking about it, I'm thinking quite possibly an S.
Oh, wow.
But because I have very fond memories of this movie. But what are you guys thinking?
I like it better than Far From Home, so maybe it is S to me as well.
I can't remember it enough to make a good judgment on it. I probably need to watch it again. So I'll go with what you say.
Can recommend wholeheartedly.
So are you suggesting we pause the video while you go and watch it?
Yeah.
See you in about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. Midnight. Cool.
No, I think it sounds like that should be an S by what you've been saying, all of you.
Cool.
Yeah. Very good movie.
Lock it in.
Right.
Brilliant. And this is the first Avengers.
Oh, right.
Avengers Assemble.
This is a very good movie. Very, very good movie.
So this is the first time we've ever sort of seen heroes from their own solo films brought together and have them, work together.
Yeah, and we've never seen anything like this since the they did Avengers, but that was back in the 1970s. And
was it terrible?
That was I've never seen it, and my dad didn't tell me to watch it, so I can't presume it's good. So
I'm trying to remember that. I probably have seen it. Was that in the form of a film or a TV show?
A film, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Hulk was basically this massively buff guy, just painted in green with a green wig.
Yeah.
And
I remember the original Hulk TV show, and that's exactly what he was in that.
And then Thor looks like Thor in mythology. In form mythology Thor, and then Iron Man. He looks like a guy with a trash can on his.
Oh dear! But we're not talking about that now, are we?
No, we're not. We're talking about this. This was a very good film and really did change cinema for superhero films. This really did.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it. It's definitely better than Age of Ultron. That is for sure.
I'd give it an A at least.
Yeah, A at the least.
Okay.
Yeah,
you all seem to be in agreement. Okay.
Yeah, I'd say a high A or a low S. High A, low S.
We need an in the middle one.
Yeah.
Would we agree A? A high A?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Can you on this what we're looking at for listeners? That doesn't help. Can we all the A's? Can you reshuffle the order of them?
Do you want me to?
Yes, I think you can.
So you could say the low A's are on the left and the high A's are on the right, couldn't you? If we've got time, we can do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so the best film of all of these will be to the right-hand side in the S column row. Sorry, yeah.
Cool. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. He's doing it already. Then.
Right. Okay. Next one.
Oh,
All the way,
moving
all the way. All the way.
Won't go any further left. Yeah.
Mm.
For
No.
listeners, he just tried to move the Captain Marvel film right off the screen in the F column, in the F row.
Oh, well.
Anyway, 3 left to do, listeners. So let's crack on.
Okay, so we have the Incredible Hulk.
Right.
So this is
This
the first
came
Hulk
out-
film.
This came out the same year as the first Iron Man film.
Okay.
It came out a month after the first one.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't realise it was MCU
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. Yeah,
because it's not the same actor, is it?
No.
Oh, so in
Now-
Avengers they bring him back as Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
In this, I forget what they call, what his name is.
Yeah. We don't need
someone
to
else.
mention it because it's not that memorable, this film, if I'm being honest.
It's the first time we see the Hulk character being able to jump like miles and things like that.
Yeah.
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 Every iteration of the Hulk before that, that was something he was never able to.
I
obviously.
feel like this film, it had some decent action.
Mm.
A little bit, but
I remember he's fighting against the army, isn't he, at some point?
he's
as well?
fighting against the army most of the time, yeah.
being shot at a lot by good guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't really see the villain properly until near the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that just
Wait,
another
that's-
Hulk?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
oh, I
a
Another
forget.
dark
Hulk?
Hulk.
I can't remember that.
Like a bigger
A dark
Hulk.
version of
Yeah.
Hulk,
He's slightly
which
bigger
is
or something.
Abomination.
Oh yes, there we go. I was trying to think of the name. You got it.
But yeah, so... I wouldn't rate this film very highly.
It's got to be worse than Black Panther, right? Worse than
Yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah,
It's good.
this could be on the high end on F or low end on D.
I think this is
Yeah.
the first Marvel movie I ever saw,
Oh, really?
and I haven't seen it since. So
Hmm.
maybe I just got fond memories, and it doesn't actually hold up. But
So maybe F isn't fair then if you think you enjoyed it. when
maybe
you saw
I don't
it.
know. It was a long time ago, and
Hmm.
I didn't
You were
have any
quite
other
young.
Marvel movies to compare it to.
Yeah.
It is very different to the other ones as well, isn't it? The style of the
Yeah.
film.
I mean, my wife loves Marvel, and I've told her don't bother with Incredible Hulk.
Wow.
You've
She's-
never watched it.
She's seen them all, loves them all. She hasn't seen that one because I've told her it's not worth it. But
Yeah.
I'll probably call it an F.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shall we say
Devon.
it's better than Captain Marvel though.
So you want it to go
At
there?
least
No,
the
No,
the
it's
other
better
way.
then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Yeah, I'm happy
at
with that.
least the the fight like Hulk looks like Hulk, and there was actually some good action, and we could tell when he was turning into the Hulk. Like you see that emotion.
Yeah.
So at least there was that bit. So that's something they did better than Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
The thing is,
Yeah.
with Captain Marvel, they had all of this background, all this experience of making these superhero movies and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So they
And
had
they
no
still
excuse.
messed it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Hulk, it was, as you say, it was the same year as the Iron Man, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
it was right at the beginning of everything.
I can't imagine they had much of a budget.
No.
Oh yeah. I would say what put this up better than Captain Marvel. We already know who the Incredible Hulk is. I even knew who he was before I even saw this film. I
Yeah.
knew the big green guy, very strong. Like
Doesn't
I know
being
what he's
angry.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, this is probably. I liked it a little bit when I was really young. Like when this film came out, I was 7. So when I watched it, it was like, yeah, good action. Watching it now, I was like, oh, okay, I know what he is, but at least it's better than Captain Marvel.
That's fair.
Okay. We'll leave
Yeah.
it there then, shall we?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Avengers
Right.
Infinity War.
Oh, Infinity War. I would say this is probably the most action-packed Avengers film.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah.
Again, it's you can't watch it solo. You have to sort of know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. Go on.
But yeah, it's the best. I had a great experience of watching it as a midnight showing, and everyone there was so hyped, and they were cheering when Captain America showed up and stuff. It was the best.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think this film, with all the obviously this happens straight after Thor Ragnarok, almost, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And Thanos after seeing this film, Thanos was like one of my favourite villains.
Yes, because basically throughout the whole thing, we've been building up these Infinity Stones, like where they're coming from, these magical, powerful stones or something. And then in this film, it finally all comes together in that Thanos is just annihilating our heroes, and
he's the Darth Vader of Marvel, basically.
He's collecting all these stones to, it's great.
Yeah, great. We had so many characters in this film. Great acting, amazing action. It was really fast paced as well. The story they kept going along with it, and there were so many things happening at different places in the galaxy. That was really good. And honestly,
also they humanize him as well, don't they?
They do, yeah.
You kind of sympathize with him.
Yeah, that was really strange. I'd never thought I'd be able to sympathize with a villain, but they did that for me with Thanos.
Any thoughts, Devon?
Devon's got thoughts.
I mean, it's a good film. I enjoyed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a good film. I think I enjoyed this better than Endgame.
Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like you don't have to know as much of the other films to be able to watch and understand. Obviously, you still do need to, but not as much as you would with Endgame, I think.
I'd rank this the same as Endgame, if I'm being honest. I don't know how you guys feel, but
I remember Devon's now wife came with us, and she was not a Marvel fan, so she did not get it at all.
She came back. She told me about it later. And and everyone's obviously cheering and everything like that. And she's like, "What's going on?"
So that was also a fun experience.
That,
she must have thought we were weird.
Movie.
We're happy for Infinity War to go in S tier. Is that right?
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Sam will not hear of anything less.
Dad, have you seen it? I don't think you have you?
I haven't seen it, no. I've got a lot of catching up to do here.
Oh, you're getting a lot of spoilers today, aren't you?
And the problem is, as well, this list isn't going to help me in doing that, because I know Ford just said to me before, you have to watch them in a certain order.
Yeah.
So I can't just
that is very true.
Yeah.
Cool. So
finally.
The last one. Thor: The Dark World.
For the Dark World, right.
Save the worst till last.
Oh, really?
No, it's not that bad.
It's not as bad as Hulk and Captain America. Captain Marvel. Definitely not that bad.
Okay.
This is a okay film. This explains one of the Infinity Stones, the reality one. Thor, he's like, his dad Odin. He's like, you're gonna be the next king, Thor. So you need to be a good lad and show that you can you can take orders and stuff like that. And you can be loyal. And he's struggling to do that because the Dark Elves invaded was it Asgard recently, and they fled, and he wants to go and sort them out. Otherwise, isn't it they'll like put the whole world, the whole galaxy in darkness or something like that?
Yeah, they will.
So it was Malekith who was the villain, who's the leader of the Dark Elves. What did we think to that villain?
Very forgettable.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I could not agree more.
Unfortunately, isn't he played by Christopher Eccleston?
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think so. But you can't tell. He could be anybody. Yeah, under all that makeup. It's very sad.
Yeah, very forgettable villain. So yeah, I might have to put this. I'm looking at these, and I think I enjoyed all the ones in C tier more than this film. So it might be D tier.
Yeah.
I can't remember
if you agree with this.
I've watched it twice, I think, and I can't remember much of it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
But you went back to it.
Well, I went with Beck through all of the Marvel films, like a week-long marathon type thing.
Okay.
Oh yes, I've done that twice. I have a Marvel marathon.
Doing it all in the order that is, cause you can do them in different orders, can't you? So
chronological or release date.
I did one in release date order, then I did one in chronological order.
Yeah. Chronological is one we did. Yeah.
So yeah, there we go.
D for that then.
Oh my days!
Wow, you've completed it.
A real
Would you
Marvel...
like me?
We do need to
Ooh.
probably comment that there are some films that we've not talked about that have been released more recently. Do you want to?
Yeah.
I know we can't place them, but there are
But
a few.
would you like me to give my input on Black Widow and Shang-Chi?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where I
Yes.
think they would go.
Yeah.
Right, I'll start with Black Widow. Now, looking at these movies, I would say for me, Black Widow would probably be on the high end of C tier or the low end on B tier.
Okay.
Okay, so pretty middle of the road kind of thing.
Yeah.
I have seen that film and I did enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say there. It's like, I've seen it twice in cinema.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I liked it. I saw it once with my friends and then once with my sister. And
Okay.
they all really enjoyed it. I was like, yeah, decent film. It's all right. I was going to be very tough love on it because they had a whole extra year to work on it because of COVID. So
Yeah.
I was going to be very harsh on it. And I thought, yeah, high C, low B.
Have either of you two seen it?
I have not.
No. It's not long been out, has it?
I have. I quite enjoyed. I say I really enjoyed it, but I just couldn't buy into a lot part of the story was that Black Widow has a family in inverted commas. She has a few people that she did a mission with when she was a child for 2 years, and the whole film kind of tries to play off that family relationship. I couldn't get it because that was like 15 years ago, and they were only together for 2 years. And they'd never seen each other since. So it was a bit like, really, they're your family, are they? Yeah. So a few bits of that.
And it's all about family as well. It's all about family, and it's really hard to get into it when you haven't spent that much time with the family.
Yeah.
Okay. I did enjoy the character that plays the part of her sister. She was actually my favourite character in it.
Florence Pugh, I think, is the best part of the film.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also the Red Room, the idea that this shady organisation has been manipulating the world for years now. There's so many of those in Marvel now. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think there's like 10 shady organizations in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I know, it's mad.
So they can probably stop doing that now, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we need to do more big league villains now. We need ones from outer space. We need more of those.
Yeah.
World Eater, you can say.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right. So.
Okay. Sorry, you're going to do.
Shang-Chi
Yeah.
and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
Yeah.
I saw this yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Or the second time.
Okay.
So I really did enjoy it. It was a very good film. If I had to put, the action is mostly not CGI.
No.
Because the main actor does his own stunts.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Wow. Okay.
And
I mean, it's very magical, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the first two acts, not much CGI. The third act, it's a lot of CGI in the third act, really.
Yeah. Yeah, it really pops off at the end, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
You've seen
if
it,
I had
Ford.
to put this...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. If I had to put this anywhere, I'd say in a high A area. Like maybe with Guardians Volume 2 and the first Avengers. I'd say it'd be with them lot. It's really good. I really enjoyed it. The music as well, it's fantastic, I think, as well.
So for the counterpoint, perhaps you've seen this recently. What do you think?
Well, no, I can't counter that. I think the things that I enjoyed about it most, and I do not like martial art films, and it is a martial art film, really, isn't it? Probably primarily. But the choreography of the martial arts in this film is like nothing I've ever seen before. Particularly early on in the scenes, Sam will recall, was just a beautiful thing to watch.
I love the bus scene. That was great.
Yes, the fight in the bus, which reminded me a lot of another film called Nobody. I don't know if you've seen that recently, which is a very, very different film, not a superhero film at all.
No, I've not seen that.
Yeah, but there was a fight scene in a subway carriage in Nobody, or was it a coach bus? I don't know. It might have been a bus actually as well, but very, very reminiscent to that. And just that confined space, it was very good. But both examples of that.
The only problem I had with the film was at the end it did get very CGI and very magical and a bit unbelievable and stuff like that. But
there's something about, isn't there a dragon flying around? Yeah, and that
two dragons.
Something about those dragon fights. I commented I went with my brother to see it afterwards. We were talking about it. So, well, I don't know if that would be quite how it would have happened. I know it's not real life, but you know what I mean. So things, even the fantasy elements, have to be plausible. I think for me, if I see implausibility in a film, then that character wouldn't do that. And I know I've said that on this podcast before. I have to believe in the characters and I have to believe in the drama, even if it's in a whole fantasy realm. Do you know what I mean? I have to believe that that's what those characters would do in that circumstance. And I think something at the end of that film, I can't pinpoint what it was again off the top of my head. Sam's seen it more recently than I have, but that went, what, really? But apart from that, I agree with everything that Sam said. Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah.
Oh, I did have something to contribute. Oh, hey, at the end, I got in. But unfortunately, that's not on our list. Oh dear, well, that's been fabulous.
So, wow. All the Marvel movies in one go. Great.
Pre-COVID Marvel movies. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Now, I've got a question for you. If you guys had to go to Comic-Con and dress up like a Marvel character, which one would you dress as?
Okay. I know exactly who I'd dress up as.
Okay.
Star-Lord.
Yeah. Okay. So,
if we're talking MCU, I would dress up as Star-Lord.
I mean, that'd probably be the easiest one to dress as, wouldn't it? It's just sort of like a red jacket, kind of.
You need the helmet.
You need
as well.
the jacket, t-shirt, the helmet, the guns, jeans, boots. You're sorted.
He is pretty cool looking, yeah.
Yeah, like out of all the superheroes, if my dream, if I could be any of them, it'd be Star-Lord.
All right, that's quite a hot take.
What's Star-Lord from? Sorry for.
He doesn't have. He's a Guardians of the Galaxy main character, but he doesn't actually have any powers per se, does he?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, the main human guy in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
He's like Marvel's Han Solo.
Yeah,
he is, isn't he?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And he likes good music. Yeah. Mr. Blue Sky. Yeah.
I think the Winter Soldier's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably go as Winter Soldier. Yeah. The one silver arm type thing. Yeah.
That'd be good. Yeah. It'd be quite easy, like, because you just need a uniform.
Yeah.
Like some gun, and then you've got the metal arm. I think that'd be the hardest bit, wouldn't it? Like making it look realistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Paps, you're up.
Oh, me next. Well, if it's at Comic-Con, it doesn't have to be MCU, does it?
Oh, okay. Interesting. Go for it.
Oh, it doesn't have to be MCU.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking that question. It was
You go Wonder Woman again.
I have to go with a costume that doesn't show off my unflattering body parts, I suppose. But so I couldn't be Spider-Man. I was thinking. I learned before we clicked the record button that apparently Suicide Squad isn't MCU. So if it includes non-MCU, then I'd probably want to be like from the latest the Suicide Squad film, the starfish monster.
Starro.
Yeah, Starro. Yeah, have you seen it?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, because that would probably wouldn't be too unflattering of my body shape.
What a mascot costume that must be.
Yeah.
Just a giant starfish.
Yeah.
The size of skyscrapers. Yeah.
Cool.
But no, seriously, out of all the films we've talked about today, I've got no idea who I could be. Maybe Doctor Strange.
You could do Fat Four. You could do a slim Fat Four.
That's so rude.
Sorry,
wow.
that was harsh. Sorry. No.
We went to a not long after lockdown ended. We took some of our grandchildren to a farm, one of these farms that you go to, and they had some superhero characters there in real, action. people,
In real life.
Yeah, real life ones. But the
Wow.
Spider-Man bloke, right, was so skinny that he didn't fit his uniform properly, and it looked absolutely awful.
all baggy, isn't it?
I know he's not that muscly, but he looked dreadful on him. I suppose Spider-Man is quite muscly, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's skinny. He's shredded. That's what he is.
Yeah,
He's shredded.
Go on then, you Ford.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Spider-Man.
Oh
Ooh.
wow.
Yeah. But you got to be pretty toned, haven't you? Because that's
But you are.
That's
Though.
showing off everything, isn't it? That one.
Exactly. That was my main point. But you are. You'd get it. You think you get away with it.
But also, no one sees your face, so you don't really have to act. Do you? It's great. You just sort of say stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Great.
That was good. Good.
Well, that's a long one, but there we go.
Yeah. Well done, those of you who stuck with it. We've had a good laugh and it's exhibited the knowledge, the supreme knowledge that Sam and Ford, I think, to a degree. Would you agree, Devon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not me.
I mean, you have watched through all these. Did you say twice, Devon?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you probably haven't been as invested in it, have you, as the others? These two.
Not as much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I've got a lot of catching up to do. That's one thing we've learnt today.
Yeah. You've got your list right there. There's your movie list. You've got it right there.
But I can't watch them in this order, can I?
No.
No.
But you know which ones you really need to watch and ones not really.
Yes, yeah. Ones I've got to aim for, yeah.
All available on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored, no.
Yeah.
Oh, Black Widow will be available on Disney Plus on October 6th.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
Final thoughts. I know we're overrunning. What do we think about the Loki TV series? Has anybody seen any of that?
I've seen all of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really liked it. So far, it's my favourite one. The
Oh,
Loki
wow.
TV series.
Okay.
really
I did
liked
like
it
the
as well,
Loki character. He's one of my favourite things about the Thor films was Loki.
The only thing I
Yeah.
wish they did better was they go. It's all about different dimensions. They're doing a lot of hopping about, but they don't really play into that very much. You don't see like different versions. Like there's one episode where you see lots of different versions of Loki and stuff like that, but they don't do that with anything else. You would have thought you could do a lot with different dimensions, but they
I would have thought we'd seen loads of different versions of Thor, maybe.
Iron Man, all sorts. Yeah. Oh yeah, 4 because it's his brother. Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess I didn't have much time really to fit it all in terms of like story wise.
Yeah, that's fair. They've got their own story to tell, but yeah.
But I think I'm right in recalling that we've commented on this before on the show, that sometimes these multiverse kind of storylines actually lose a bit of jeopardy, don't you? When we're talking about the Spider-Man, what was it called?
The Spider-Verse.
The Spider-Verse. That's the animated one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed. That was a great film.
Oh, that's like one of my favourite like modern animated films now. That is.
Yeah. But the fact that you've got 3, 4, 5 different Spider-Men from different universes, multiverses.
Yeah, I think there's like 6 of them. I think in that movie.
Are we losing? Because that seems to be a storyline that a lot of this stuff is going down, isn't it?
Marvel definitely, that's definitely going that way.
It adds confusion, I think, to me when I have limited capacity of understanding, but also the jeopardy is reduced, I think, because there'll be another one in another universe somewhere that's going to be fine.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, one thing I did have with Infinity War was when they all went dusty and when they were gone, I was like, they're going to come back because Disney are not willing to lose all them characters because they're going to lose lots of money if they don't bring them back. So,
true.
So there was kind of that, they're going to come back because they're not Disney and they're not willing to lose that much money.
No. Marvelous. Good point to end it on, probably, or not.
Marvelous.
Marvelous. Yeah. I didn't even intend that. Oh dear.
But for this year, I'm very excited for the next ones, which is Eternals, which comes out in November, and Spider-Man: No Way Home on December.
Oh yes.
Those will be ones to look out for.
All right then. Shall we move on to the wrapping up portion of the evening.
Let's set your next assignment and say goodbye.
All right, for our next episode, we'll be doing a Wii review, and we'll be doing music, I think, isn't it?
Yes, that's correct.
Scaled and Icy. Is that... we always forget whether it's the band or the album, but 21 Pilots, I think, is the artist.
The band,
yes.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
21 Pilots. Yeah. Oh, have you heard of them, Sam?
I listened to a few of their
Oh,
tunes.
wow. Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Trinity's a big fan. That's where we're doing it, I think. Yeah.
How do you rate it?
I only listen to like one or two. I only listen to ones that really pop off.
Okay.
So
So good
the
ones.
one, yeah, like I listened to their one when it was Heathens, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I listened to that one. That was good, and that one that would go the good old day.
Oh yeah, that one.
That one.
yeah.
I can't remember what it's called. Yeah, you know what I'm on about.
Yep.
Yeah, those ones when they really pop off, I listen to them.
Cool.
So, Sam, what we can do to include some content from you in our next episode then is if you want to listen to that album and then send us an email or a message via some form, which Ford will probably just quickly mention now, and we can include your comments in that next episode that we're going to be recording.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll
So-
check it out.
Yeah, so listen to that album called again.
Called again.
What's it called?
Scaled and Icy.
That's it. Okay. So,
Scaled and icy.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably available on your favourite music streaming.
Spotify, that'll be.
Yeah, that's it. Is it? Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
All right. That's only to say, when your friend in mid-conversation looks up longingly into the distance and sighs, and he says, "If only there was a podcast that I could listen to that talks about absolutely nothing," and then maybe you as a listener could recommend us to them. I think that would be great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not? Yeah.
That's
Talk
brilliant.
us about nothing.
Yeah, but we don't really,
Nothing.
we don't really talk about anything.
We talk about anything. Yeah, theory of anything. Yeah.
Indeed.
No in particular thing.
Yeah. Anything and
One
everything.
one episode where we talk about nothing. It's a 40-minute episode. Nothing has been spoken.
Yeah,
Oh.
silence for 40 minutes.
Just
could
dead air. Yeah, and then a conclusion at the end. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Maybe you could do an ASMR thing, is it? Where you just make noises, don't you? You just go pop, pop.
Yeah.
Like that and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Oh,
people
dear
really
me.
love that for some reason.
We're getting really
Yeah, that's a
abstract.
bit odd if I'm being honest.
Anyway, you can email. If you could email us, that'd be nice. If you got any comments or thoughts on what we've talked about, comment below if in the podcast app or YouTube or whatever. In the description below, we'll have our Twitter handle and our email address, so check that out. Yeah. Do we have anything to wrap it up with?
Just a big thank you, really, to Sam especially,
Yeah.
and all the knowledge that he's brought to this conversation. I don't think we could have done it without him, could we?
No.
Oh, definitely.
Thanks for having me. I always love to be able to share my knowledge of Marvel without
Yeah.
having my mum to tell me to stop talking about Marvel. It's always a pleasure.
Oh, well done. Well, it's been appreciated here today. And, of course, we look forward to hearing your next sporting achievement, whenever that may be.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, whenever you next win another medal round your neck, obviously, we'd love to hear about it.
I'll do my
Yeah.
absolute best to make sure that happens.
Yeah, and perhaps, hopefully, at some point in the further down the road, we can have you back again as another returned guest. Yeah,
That'd be fantastic. That
Yeah.
would.
We'll do a
Alright.
DC version.
yeah.
Oh,
DC.
that'd be brilliant.
It'd be a shorter episode, won't it?
Oh yeah, there's a lot less
Um,
films. Yeah.
Yeah, DCEU. That started with Man of Steel. I think that was
Oh wow.
not too long ago. That
Yeah.
one, but
Oh,
10
there
years
you
ago.
go.
Yeah, if you confine it to the DCEU, there's probably only like 5 films. I don't know.
Yeah.
But all the DC films, maybe that'll be a bit longer.
That would be a bit longer. Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Right.
Or we could do Star Wars.
Or Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like we could include TV series as well.
Yeah.
that would be a list. Yeah,
That's
okay.
a long show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Much like this
All
one.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want me to do the thing?
Oh yeah, say the thing.
So until we meet around the microphone again next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.